Chapter 2. I was standing in the dark with headphones on. A long metal rod in front of me was falling from the ceiling. That was all I could make out. It was my whole world at that moment. That and the microphone, encircled by a hoop. The silence was total. Then the music poured in the headphones, and I began to hit the beat with my fingertip. And I opened my throat. A warm, gaping clang. On the fourth beat of my index finger, my vocal cords began to vibrate, precisely for 3 minutes and 15 seconds. And then we did it again, for another 3 minutes and 15 seconds, and again, and again. A taxi is waiting for me outside the studio. It's dark, it's raining. I feel far from home. I am far from home. It's for the hotel, I wanted to say, but the driver told me that he had come especially for this transit, and that the way to the Ramada Hotel was clear, only 10 minutes away. He was happy, he told me, to have an international artist as a client. I kept quiet. We were driving. The grey facades that passed by were the same grey as in Paris. The headlights of the cars were strangely white. We stopped. I got out of the taxi, told myself that the driver had been paid, but I wanted to give him something. I could see him driving his black Mercedes down the unfamiliar boulevard, and then I could only see his red taillights when he had stopped maybe 100 metres away in front of a pedestrian crossing. The pedestrian crossing was riddled with phosphorescent rain on the ground. At the reception of the Ramada Hotel, I told my name, but the receptionist just asked me if I wanted something special for dinner. I said no, and then, like yesterday, took the lift. I walked down the long corridor on the second floor, untying my bow tie. When I reached the door, I closed my eyes and mentally thought 203, then opened them again. In front of me on the door was screwed the number 203. I'd been afraid to forget this detail too quickly. I had a phone call to make, during which I would have to fill in this room number. The room seemed large to me, but it was not exactly luxurious. It was yellowish, olive and greenish, colours before the amputation. I sat down on the bed next to the bedside table. I took out the little black notebook and put one hand on the orange telephone receiver. 203-33 Tex XX Bologna, I thought. I picked up the phone. The operator had a slight accent. She seemed young. I asked to be put on 33XXXX in Bologna. "You're in 32, said the young operator. "You know the prices for 33 from 32? "I don't care, kid," I smiled. "Of course, sir. I'll put you through to XXXX in Bologna. International call in 33 from 32. Hold on."
"Hello?"
came Claire's voice, so it was Claire who picked up. Perfect. "It's me," I said. Claire breathed a sigh of relief.
"How did it go, the recording?"
I struck a match, lit a gitane, blew smoke. "It was okay, I guess. They let me out."
"So you're coming back?"
"No, I have to shoot a musical film for another song at..." I was looking for the information in my notebook at the Palais des Congrès.
"When?"
"Tomorrow. Can you come?"
"Do you want me to come?"
Claire sounded happy that I asked her that. "You take the Ford, you cross the border, you're there tomorrow." Claire thought for a moment.
"And if I hadn't been the one to take the call, would you have told the others that?"
"Yes, my dear, I would have told them the same thing out of courtesy. But I was hoping that you would be the one to pick up the phone."
Why the Ford?"
"Because all the cars here are sadly dark."
"What'll the song be? Will there be girls?"
"Well, no. Here they want to promote the place. It must have been built recently. The Palais des Congrès will be empty, and the film crew has asked me to walk alone and sing."
"Why?"
I have to walk through as many rooms as possible to show the new building. They wanted a star, my little one. A French star who sings in a new building."
"You're a star, Poussin. Do people recognise you in the streets? Women?"
"I haven't seen much of anyone. I have to get up early tomorrow, so I'll leave you. But I expect to find you at the hotel when I get back. I'll give you the address. Will you write it down?"
"Go ahead."
So it is on the Boulevard de la Sauvenière, as it's pronounced, at number 100, all round, in Liège, the Ramada Hotel. I'm in room 203, you'll remember that?
"All right. I'll get ready, Poussin."
"Claire?"
"Yes?"
"Be careful, I love you, my little one." It was still raining when the black taxi stopped in front of the Ramada Hotel. It was early. The cobblestones on the boulevard were black and shiny. The white headlights of the dark cars transported me further away from Paris. I tried to hold on to the timeline. The 60s seemed to be unfolding here, in the hairstyles and skirts of the women, as they did in Paris. Passing cars sizzled on the wet pavement. I got into the taxi. "At the Palais de Congrès, please." "Of course, sir." I kept quiet. After a few blocks, the driver asked, "Are you French?" "Yes." "Do you have any Belgian francs on you?" "No, I've only got French coins in my pocket, and I say that I'm not even sure. The director is sending you, right?" "Yes, he is." "Is he at the Palais des Congrès?" "Why, of course," I said. "I hope he can afford the fare." I raised my eyebrows in silence. Then we drove on without saying anything more. The Palais des Congrès was indeed a new building, immaculate and completely deserted. I met the director at the bar. No boom operator. It wouldn't be a live shot, he told me. "We'll just shoot, and my assistant will follow the cameraman with a tape player that will play the song, so you'll be in sync." I asked if I could smoke during the shoot. He told me that we were going to do several takes to get all the parts, and that it would be a problem for me to smoke, because the length of my cigarette would inevitably change from one shot to another. I lit a gitana while waiting to be told to start walking along the rooms of the Palais des Congrès. I understood perfectly well that I wasn't being offered alcohol, but I had a serious craving for a little whiskey, like that one, the one that was delicately moistening in that square bottle behind the barman. All the bottles in these mirrors were giving me the eye, really, and the director was drinking his amber glass, making his little sips clatter on his palate. The cameraman and the tape carrier, punished as I was, stared at me with a complicit desolation. We went up to the top floor. In 30 minutes the light will be good, and hopefully for at least 3 hours. At 11 o'clock I had my hands in my pockets, at the very beginning of the corridor. The cameraman stood at an angle. The tape maker tested the tape. My song could hardly be heard, unlike the car horns coming from outside. Should I keep my hands in my pockets? You'll tend to want to get them out over a 3-hour period, so no. To be consistent with the plans, you know. Take a very natural attitude, one that you can easily keep for 3 hours. Then I walked, trying to look casual. The cameraman walked at the same angle, backwards, his steps clattering against the beat of my song. The tape guy walked normally, whispering lyrics to the director, while I sang into the echo of the concrete, over my own almost inaudible voice on the tape. We were going down the stairs, and I could hear the footsteps of the 3 men. When my song was finished, we rewound it and continued our journey through the empty Palais des Congrès. I woke up with a start. The phone was ringing. I got up, rubbed my eyes. I picked up the phone. "Hello? Good evening, sir. Mademoiselle Lacombe is here." "Madame Lacombe. Send her up, thank you." "Will you have something? Do you want to eat together?" "Ask Madame Lacombe what she wants to eat, and bring me the same, thank you." "Very well, sir. Have a good evening." I stretched. It was almost dark, a bit blue. It was warm in the room. I turned on the bedside lamp, then tried the buttons around the bed. A chandelier lit up.
Poussin.
Claire jumps on my neck. Her skin is cold, she smells good. Her slim body fits into mine. I inhale her hair. I am in autumn. She spins around in the middle of the room, her arms spread wide.
"I've never been to this city before. Well, maybe I passed through it without knowing it when I was in Amsterdam."
"Sit down. I've only just woken up. How was the drive?"
"Normal. A bit long. I had lunch in a restaurant on the border. It was fun. I had a good time. How was your shoot?"
I walked and walked. I sang out of tune for 3 hours in a disgusting echo of fresh concrete.
"Out of tune?"
Claire stretched out on a sofa, took off her shoes. "Don't take your clothes off, they'll bring dinner. What did you ask?"
"They had a cart. It was complex. They told me that you would take the same thing as me, so I was a bit stupid in front of the menu. I don't know what I took."
I sat down next to her, kissed her bare arm. Then I lay down. "Did you see that the headlights of the cars are white?" I asked.
"That car headlights are white?"
Claire seemed to think that she, or I, had lost the thread of the discussion. "I've had a lonely couple of days," I said.
"We'll make love,"
she said, turning her head towards the bed. I could see in her eyes that she was imagining our bodies embracing. "Yes, we will have sex."
"Olympe wanted to come."
It was almost an anecdote. I didn't know what to say. I could have wanted Olympe, for example, to join us. It was a bit complicated to react without lying a bit. "We could have fucked the 5 of us like in Bologna." "I don't think they care here," I thought I'd say.
"I don't feel like fucking tonight, Emile. We're abroad, and I treasure having you here for a while. I want you to make love to me. I don't want to fuck Poussin, I want you.
It's true, excuse me. This is not Bologna. There was a knock on the door. We were at the table, subtly lit by electric candles. The tablecloth was white. A bellboy was unloading the trolley onto it. I don't really know what was on our plates. I questioned Claire with my eyes. She was just assessing the dish, almost apologetic. The bellman spoke. He said the names of the dishes, but I didn't understand. Then he said, Monsieur de Salve, Mademoiselle Lacombe, bon appétit. Then he went out, pulling his cart. I didn't have time to correct the bellboy. Did he not see my wife's wedding ring? At least you chose the right wine, my dear.
The cook picked it out. He said it went with this.
She gestured. So this can't be that bad, I said. We made love, and it was really good. I had almost forgotten this exclusive intimacy with one of my wives. I didn't miss any of the women who were absent, and for the first time since I had crossed the border, I didn't miss Boulogne. We fell asleep happy. Tomorrow we would return to France.
I woke up. It was still dark. Emile was still sleeping. I slowly pulled myself out of his arms and went to the bathroom. The neon light hurt my eyes. I stared at myself in the mirror. I could still hear that voice. I still haven't told Emile, or anyone. My clothes were folded by the bath. I sat naked on the toilet bowl. I tried to think about the situation, but nothing came to me, except that I was definitely not thinking about anything. Something was wrong. I got dressed and walked out of the bathroom in silence. I went to the room door and found myself in the dimly lit hallway. My watch said 5:30. I rushed up the stairs. I didn't really know where I was going, or strangely enough, I did know precisely. I wasn't going to many places. I was going to one place. So, in the hall, the receptionist didn't see me at once. Then he said, "Are you going to get some fresh air, Mademoiselle Lacombe? Do you know what time you'll be back?" I had this impulse to tell him I would never be back, but I contained myself and said, "I'm just going for a walk on the boulevard." "Okay, miss, don't catch cold. Here's an umbrella." I grabbed the umbrella and walked out. I walked along the boulevard, whose name I had forgotten. Boulevard de Salvieri, Boulevard de Salviere, de la Sauvenière, how it sounds. In this night, the headlights of the cars were white. I had heard the information before, and I had to concentrate to remember that Emile had made that remark to me. I walk again and realise I haven't opened the umbrella. I walk. The umbrella is lying on the cobblestones 100 metres behind me. When I look at my watch, illuminated by red, green and blue pulses, under impressive music, it marks 11:45. I'm in a bar. I wonder if it is 11:45 in the evening. I've walked a long way. I don't know where I am. I know where I am. Men offer me drinks and I drink them. Some are my age, others are of age. The lyrics of the songs that play seem to be addressed to me, as if it was still that voice singing instead of talking to me. A new glass arrives on the zinc. A tall man is standing. He waves his beer at me. How dare any of them accost me? I am a married woman. I am one of Emile Starlight's wives. I take my hand to this new glass that is offered to me and drink it in one gulp. My slender fingers around the glass no longer hold the wedding ring. I snap them at the tall, dark-haired man. I'm in the bathroom of this bar, and I feel like I've been there 10 times tonight. Behind me, the tall, dark-haired guy is working, holding my hair. Then he's done, and I go back to the bar again. I've lost something. It's not right at all. My watch reads 5:30 again, and I realise it's been 12 hours or 24 hours since I left Emile. I'm sitting on the bowl of the bar's toilet, but there's someone already sitting there, bare, hairy legs on the back of my thighs, and I slowly slide over until he comes. It's 11:45 again. I am outside. The visceral panic, which has always been my safeguard, has left me. I think I won't make it, but I also think it doesn't matter anymore. It's 5:30 a.m. I wake up in a bed, a man snoring next to me. It's not Emile, it's a guy from the bar. We are in an attic. A bed in an attic, a mattress on the floor. I get dressed slowly. Then I look for the exit, the staircase. There is none. There is no exit. There never was. There is a trapdoor on the floor. I want to lift it. It resists me. I bang on the trapdoor. It lasts a long time. Then the door tips over and I go down a worm-eaten staircase. There, Olympe, Manon and Christine stare at me. "So what was it?" asks Olympe. I leave the west wing and go to the central reading room. I don't know if it was the wind hitting the hatch, but I think we all got the fright of our lives. Bookworm Claudine starts reading again, and so does Bookworm Beatrice. As for Madame Jacqueline, she yawns at her window,